Look, I'm not telling you don't have to fight. There will be times when every cop has to fight for his post. When all the talking in the world, all the authority that you have doesn't matter when someone out there wants to try you. And if you have to fight, you have to win. You see, there are people out here who think that police brutality happens when police win the fights. But we're supposed to win the fights. If we're out here in a fight, fuck any talk of police brutality. If it has to happen, it has to be brutal. All right. But I'm not talking about the fights that you have to have. No. I'm talking about the fights that you want to have. The ones that you think you're entitled to because you have the badge. We don't need that kind of brutality. And not because that brutality isn't fun. I mean, it's hella fun getting a few licks in on a mouthy asshole that doesn't know when to shut the fuck up. Fun is fun, right? But that kind of brutality gets in the way of our job. For one thing, no one talks to you when you beat on them. No one tells you what you want to know. And here's the other thing, information. Who is who? Who's doing what dirt? Where are they doing it at? Who it is that they do this dirt with? Information is what gets you cases. It gets drugs and guns. It takes you to court with real cases. Cases that actually matter. And if you're going to court with nothing but disorderlies, failures to yield humbles only, then you got nothing that makes a state's attorney want to pick up your court slip. Even if you get paid. Even if they give you 2 hours to wait in the hallways at a Wabash for a case that's gonna be dismissed anyway. So what? Truth is, you ain't doing jack by being brutal. You're not getting drugs or guns or any of the kind of big balls out hairy cases that get you promoted and paid. Here's another thing about being brutal. In the end, when you beat on people, it doesn't only get in the way of good cases. It gets you IID complaints. And if you have too many, you start to get a reputation. And even transferred out of your unit. Even if you know how to write a report out of the hassle. And any cop that's worth a damn knows how to write a fucking report. But that kind of attention gets in the way of doing our job. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you don't get charged. Or if you don't go to trial court. Because you never know. When a civil suit gets back and they pay out money, you'll get a rep for that. And now you're not going to the street, and now you're not worth anything to anybody. So what am I saying? Look, if beating people's ass brought cases, then maybe you could argue to beat anybody's ass, but it doesn't work. And if you want to do that kind of work, you better stay the hell away from my unit. Because the Gun Trace Task Force We're not about that bullshit. Nah. We're about drugs and guns and finding the motherfuckers that deal drugs and guns. All right. So what am I saying? What is Wayne Jenkins saying, huh? Am I saying you can't fight for your post? Hell no. Nah. Am I saying that you can't control where you are? Hell no. Fuck that. Am I saying your hands are tied and you can't do shit? Fuck that. Look, I want you guys to get this in your head. If you're a police officer on the streets and you know the law and you know your authority and you know you can write the hell out of any report, just remember, your word will always prevail. Every time. Every fucking time. And when they bring you down to headquarters or downtown or any courtroom in the state of Maryland, and you get to bring guns and drugs and real cases, your word will always win. You. Talk to me afterwards.